Welcome to Learn Commerce PU online classes. Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.
Welcome to our first PU Computer Science online classes. As we know that in last class we completed some important concept about our string functions, and we know that how to declare a string variable. The syntax is the char string underscore name, opening of this square bracket, size, closing of the square bracket, semicolon, and how we are going to write the example. The data type, that is the char, okay, and string name may be the str and size may be the 50, as we know in last class only, the declaration of a string variable, okay. And later next one we can say that it is the most important note about our string variable. The each character of a string variable is 1 byte long. Clear this one? And always remember it, the position value going to start from 0 and till that whatever the number of characters are there, till that it going to write, okay. So this is about our some important note. And also we can say that we know that in last class we used one function. The function is the Getline function. And what's the use of the Getline function? It is using just to input a or to read a string, correct? No, just only to input a group of characters into the program. The function name is the Getline function. And we know some important note also, that means here maybe here after that, after reading the number of the character, how many size of the character is there after reading, correct? No, it going to terminate. Clear? So when number of the character that is equal to the size, on that time it going to make the termination of the character, terminate in reading of the characters here. And also later was it going to read one character. The character is the new line character, but such character is replaced by the null character, as we know in last class only. And also now inputting a string, as we know the syntax. Now let's about outputting a string. That means what's the function we are going to use? The function name is the write function is using to outputting a string here to display a group of characters. Now let's, in today's class also I want to use the syntax of the inputting a string as well as outputting a string here, because first of all what's the question? The question, and in this class I am using one program. I am going to solve one program. The question of the program is the to read. As we know, the meaning of the read is called as the input, okay. The input a string and print the string. The meaning of print only called as the display. That means whatever the character we inputted, such character going to display on or in our program or on computer screen. So clear this one here, okay. Now first of all, as we know that first of all going to start from header file. The header file is the iostream.h, okay. The iostream.h in this case here, the header file going to start. And later next one, the second header file we need to use. The second header file is called as the conio.h. As we know that, I think no need to tell about any header file. We already used, we already started many practical program, and in our from the starting practical program I am going to use some of the most important header file, that is the iostream. Input output manipulation, input output stream, performing the inputting operation, performing the output operation. And also we need to use the header file conio, conio.h, the meaning of the conio. And why we using such header file? To use the function. The function is the clr, scr, or maybe the function is the get .NCERT. And later also we need to use, in case you want to display any information or any kind of the string name one after the another, then the header file iomany.h. It's not necessary to use in every program. Okay, ಎಲ್ಲ program ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂತ ಇಲ್ಲ, depend on you. Maybe you want to input any information, you want to display any information one after the another. So the iomany, that means input output manipulation. And later next one also, which type of program is this? The program to read a string and print the string. That means here the meaning of string is that. So we already know in last class, I already explained some explanation about our string here. So the string function means, to use the string function we need to use the header file. Header file is the string.h. So should use it, the header file, that is the hash include our string.h. Okay, maybe in case, maybe in program, that means maybe you want to process some of the character function, then the header file ctype.h. But here ctype.h no need, because here whatever the character we are inputting, such character is equal to string character, group of character. So to use group of character we need to use the header file. Header file is the hash include string.h. Okay kya? And later we know that the program going to start by using void main and should be write by using lowercase letter, should not be terminated by semicolon, and also opening of the flower bracket. That means here we are going to start the program. Now what are the variables we need to use in the program? Now the declaration of the variable after the flower bracket. So char, that means here also the group of character I am going to use. So the data type char, the full form of the char is the character only, the group of character. Okay kya? So the char, maybe in case you want to use single character, also the data type char only. Maybe you want to use group of character, the data type char only need to use. Okay, and later next one, the string name, and the string name I am going to use as str, and later the size I am using by using the square bracket and the semicolon. So this is called as the declaration of the variable str with the size 50 and also with the data type char. Okay, and later with that I need to use one more variable. The variable is the L. Okay, the L full form is the length of the character. That means the L I am using to finding the length of the character. The length of the character means how many character, the number of characters within the string. Okay, hello ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಇದೆ? HELLO. So length of the character is 5. Clear this one? So later words I will tell what's the use of the L here, but in starting just only the length of the character. That means we know that length we are going to calculate by using the number. So maybe you, in case you are using the string variable name as hello, HELLO. So total 5. So because of this data type is int is suitable. Okay, it going to display in a number. So the data type int, L is the length of the character. And later after completing declaration of each character, then just I want to start the program. So before going to start the program I am using the function CLR SCR open close semicolon. So this is called as the clear the screen. Okay, in comment line we can use as to clear the screen here, and later next one after that to clear the screen I am using the message. Okay here, so after such message only I am going to enter some character or group of character through the keyboard. So I am using the message enter a string. Clear this point here? Enter a string. In this case here I am using the message. If you want you can use the colon, then closing of the double quotation and semicolon. So how we need to use? That means cout to display a message, and the operator we need to use opening of the double quotation. As we know that maybe any message going to use in double quotation, then sure that means such message going to display on the screen. Without double quotation means what's the value we used to such message, such one going to display. Okay, but we need to use in a declaration of the variable such variable name, then only it going to display the value. And later next one after that cout enter a string. Now we know that here maybe I want to enter Mumbai. Okay, I want to enter Mumbai. It's a group of character MUMBAI. So group of character, total 6 characters are there here. So what's the function going to use? The function is the sin dot getline, correct? No, opening of the parenthesis str, and size may be the size we already written. The size is the 50 and the variable name is the str. So 50. So clear? Whatever the size, what's the name is that, the same thing we need to write in the that means inputting a string. Okay, to read a string, idu ಒಂದು ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. Now I already given the coding of the inputting a string here. So the coding is string dot getline, opening of the parenthesis str, comma 50, closing of the parenthesis and the semicolon I already given. So no any problem, just only the data going to input through the keyboard. We can input any type of character through the keyboard. And later next one, after that I am using one more function. Still here you don't know about our strlen, correct? No, strlen of str and such value going to add into the variable L. Okay, so how I declared the L, just only as a horizontal manner, top to bottom. So L, okay, kya? So like that only I need to use. Maybe you used small letter L, like that only how you used in our declaration, like that only we need to use. So now the meaning of this strlen, okay, the strlen means length of the character, the length of the string here. Okay, so maybe in case you are using entering a string as Mumbai, entering a string as Mumbai, MUMBAI, okay, entering a string as Mumbai, on that time it going to display the length of the character. Now such character is there into the variable or in variable L. Okay, so e character ನಾನು ಈ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಅನ್ನು ಯಾಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ? ವಾಟ್ಸ್ ದಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಫ್ strlen? The meaning of the strlen means the string length. Okay, just to find out the length of the string we using the function. The function name is called as the string manipulation function. It is the string function. The name of the function is the strlen, and the uses of strlen just to know the number of character within the string to find the length of the str. Okay, now after finding this function, finding the length, after finding, now such length is going to input into the variable L. Clear this point? Input into the variable L. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ size of the character ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ? ನಮ್ಮ L ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ. Clear this one? ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲಿ? Okay, now later next one, after completing, now whatever the character is there I want to display, so just only the given string is. Okay, I am using as the given string is, in this case here the given string is. Okay, here, so later next one, now I want to display, that means sure by using which function is it able to display the data? By using the function. The function name is called as the write function. So how to use the write functions coding? Cout dot write, okay, write, and later next one str. Now here if you want you can write the size. Okay, you can, if you want you can write the size. Otherwise we know that here we already used one line. The line states that means it finding the length of the character, the number of character within the string, and after finding the length of the character of str, the string variable, now such character is there, all those is there, that means just how it possible to copy from one to another by using the equal sign. Now whatever the character is there, maybe entering a string ಕೊಡುವಾಗ ನೀವು ಮುಂಬೈ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ಆಗ MUMBAI, ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ 6 ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಇದೆ. ಆ 6 ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಕಾಪಿ ಆಗ್ತದೆ? ನಮ್ಮ L ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ ಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಕಾಪಿ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. So while going to write, maybe you can write 50, otherwise maybe you can write L, no any problem. Clear this point here? Maybe you want you can write the 50, otherwise you can write the L, but it's better to write the L because we already used, correct? No, all those how many characters are there after finding should add it in our L variable. And how it possible to make a copy from one to another? Such copy we can do it by using sign. The sign name is called as the assignment statement, that is equal sign. Okay, that means we copied from one to the another. Now all those length of the string is there in our variable L. So instead of 50, I just want to use the L only. So artha aita illi. And later next one, finally we need to use the gets here. We need to use the gets here and closing of the flower bracket. So clear this one. So this is very simple program about our to input a string and print the string. So clear? No any problem? I think so here. First of all, we need to use the header file. We know that void main is there, and without using the declaration of the variable, it's not possible to use all those variable name in the program. So whatever the variable you want to use, or maybe any string function you want to use here, maybe any string function you want to use, that means first of all we need to declare in our header files. Okay, so this is the declaration of the variable string. Size is 50, and as well as we need one more variable. Okay, and such variable is using to finding length of the string. That means first of all this strlen is using strlen. Okay, length is using just to find the length of the string, number of character within the string, and later was after finding such number of character going to copied into the variable L. So because of this I used declared the variable L. And later next one, CLR SCR, we know about this one. First of all, it going to display the message, enter a string. After completing the program, enter a string. On that time I am inputting the group of character, that is Mumbai, through the keyboard MUMBAI. Okay, and later how many number of character is there after finding, going to add into the variable L, and later again it going to display the message the given string is. Okay, whatever the string we enter, such one only the given string is one message. If you want you can write, it not necessary here. Otherwise after writing L, okay, L is equal to strlen of str, directly you can display the data, and such a displaying of data we can do it by using write function. So how we are going to write? Cout dot write, opening of the parenthesis, str comma, and maybe you can use the size, that is 50, otherwise L, it is suitable to use the L, otherwise no any use of the L, correct? No, why we use, that means it did the copy from one to the another, so it's better to use the L, get ch, open close semicolon, and closing of the flower bracket. Now after completing, now we'll complete some other concept, okay, about the strlen functions. Now after completing about our some meaning about our here one program, otherwise we can say that inputting a string and outputting a string here. Now the next important concept in our function chapter. So some string manipulation functions. Okay, kya? Now I am going to use after that. Now first of all, how many functions are there here? All those functions I am going to use one after the another with the programs. Okay, kya? So you have to remember it properly how I am going to use, what's the meaning of each line, each and everything. Now many programs are going to join one after the another in this chapter. So first of all, here some string manipulation function. The manipulation means what are the function or how many function or the function of the string function. So the first function name is called as the strlen, spelling strlen function, that means open close is called as the function, strlen function. So why we using this strlen function? As we know that this function returns the spelling I am using returns. Okay, so this function returns the length of the character, the length of the string here. So we can say that this function returns the number of character within this string. Maybe you are using computer, how many character are there? COMPUTER. So totally it going to return the character. The character is equal to 8. So why we using this strlen? That means just to know, or it going to return, or this function return length of the string. The length of the string, in very simple meaning we can say that the number of character within this string here. But also the most important note in our strlen, we can say that here the length of the string, that is only called as the number of character of the string, does not include the count of null character. Clear this point here? It not going to include the count of null character, that means excluding the null character and including the spaces. Clear this one? ಯಾವಾಗ ನೀವು ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಅನ್ನು ನೋಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀರಿ, ಆಗ ನೀವು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ, ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಅಷ್ಟನ್ನು ಮಾತ್ರ ನೀವು ಕೌಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್? ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸೇ ದಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್, ದಿ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ನೋಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ strlen function, so while going to count the number of the character, it not going to count the null character. It does not include the count of null character, that means it excluding the null character but including the spaces. Okay, it includes the spaces. Clear this point here? Now let's one example about this one. Now before going to write any example, the syntax how to write the strlen function. So the syntax is the variable is equal to strlen opening of the parenthesis, string closing of the parenthesis and semicolon. Clear this point here? So ಇದು ನಮ್ಮ syntax, ನಮ್ಮ strlen function ಇನ syntax. ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ strlen function ನಾವು ಯಾಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ, just to find out the number of character. Okay, ಆ ಒಂದು ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಆ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಇದೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಗೋಸ್ಕರ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಅನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. ಆ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಇನ ಹೆಸರು strlen function. So this syntax we need to write as the variable is equal to strlen, string opening and closing parenthesis is the closing of this semicolon. Now how to write the example? Okay kya? So the example variable name, that means we know that it going to find out the length, so I am using variable name as the L is equal sign as it is strlen, that means it is the name of this string function strlen here, and this string, that means which character string character, okay, or this string you want to find out here. So such character or a group of character we need to write by using the double quotation. So how many character it going to that means it going to use or it going to display here, how many characters are there? String I used as the computer, so it going to display the number of characters COMPUTER. So totally how many characters are there? Totally 8 characters. Clear this point? It going to display totally 8 characters. Okay, it going to return the length of the character, the number of character within the string variable. Now let's the second example. The second example also variable name is the L, length of the character is equal to strlen, that is called as the function name, and as a string name I used as the computer science. So as we know that just only in computer how many characters are there? The character, total character is computer, that is equal to 8. So we can say that here 8 character is there plus, okay, the 8 character. Now science SCE, okay, SCIENCE. So totally how many characters? That is 7. So when you are going to add, that is equal to 15. But also we can say that it returns how many character? It returns the value is equal to 16. Okay, it returns 16 value. How? As we know that I already given the note, it excluding the null character but including the spaces. So just only it going to add the spaces. So because of this reason it returns 16. Okay, the length of the character that is equal to 16. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲ 16 ಹೇಗೆ? ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 8 ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಇದೆ, ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 7 ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಇದೆ. ನೀವು 8 ಮತ್ತೆ 7 ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ 15 ಆಗಿದೆ. Now also we need to include the spaces. Clear this point here? ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಶೂರ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಬರೆಯುವಾಗ ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ, so it include the spaces. So because of this length of the character that is equal to 16. If you are not using space, that means it returns 15 only. So this is the most important note about our strlen. Clear this one? The important note about the strlen. So clear no? Now let's about our, after completing the strlen, the meaning of the null string. So what do you mean by a null string? So here we can say that means a string of length 0. So what's the length of this string? The length of this string that is equal to 0. That means no character is there in string. The null string, the length of string 0 is called as the null string. Okay, so the null string is an empty string. That means opening of the double quotation, closing of the double quotation, but nothing is there inside or in between the double quotation here. That means no any size, no any character. So this one is called as the null string. So the null string is an empty string that contains only a null character within it. Clear this point here? So null string ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಅದರ ಲೆಂತ್ ಏನಿರ್ತದೆ? The length that is equal to 0. ನೀವು ಹೇಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಿ? ಅದು ಲೆಂತ್ 0. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡು ಇರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್? No any string variable name is there here. Nothing is there. That one only called as the null string. So the null string, the length of string that is equal to 0 is called as the null string here, and later we can say that it is called as the empty string. It is an empty string that contain only a null character. Okay here, so this is about our null string. Okay, now after completing the null string, now we are going to write one program. The program here, the question is to find the length of the string using the library function. Okay, so in this program I am going to find out the length of the string. Just only I am using one string variable, and after using this string variable I am just going to check how many number of character is there in such string variable. So just I am going to write the program. As we know that the program going to write by using #include iostream.h. correct? No, #include iostream.h, and later next one is about our next header file, maybe the conio io many string.h here. But you have to remember it. What's the question? The question is to find length of this string. Here we are going to find out the number of character within this string using the library function. What about the library function? The library function means by using the syntax of the strlen. The syntax of the strlen means variable is equal to strlen of string. Okay, by using the syntax of the strlen we are going to complete this program. Clear this one? Okay, so first of all header file. Second one, again we need to write the header file here. So second header file I am using as the conio.h here, and later next one I am using one more header file. The header file is the iomany.h here. As we know that the users of the iomany.h, that means it going to display the information one after the another, and later also we need to use one more header file. The header file is the string.h. So all those after completing all those header file, as we know that the program going to start by using the void main. Correct? No, the program going to start by using the void main, then opening of the flower bracket, and after opening of the flower bracket, as we know that whatever the declaration are there we need to declare. So here I need to declare the string variable. So such a string variable have the data type char here, and this is called as the name of the string variable, and also I am using the size for example that is equal to 50. As we know that what we did here, that means the declaration of the string variable str size 50 with the data type char, and later next one also I am using length, that is the L. Okay, as we know that because what's the question of this program? Here we are going to finding the length of the character. As we know the meaning of the length, number of character within the string. ಎಷ್ಟು character ಇದೆ, ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು character string character ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು string ಅನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡ ನಂತರ just we are going to find out ಆ ಒಂದು string ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು character ಇದೆ ಅಂತ. So we need the declaration of all these. Okay, and later next one we need to use CLR SCR open close semicolon. As we know that it not a first time, it not the first time we are going to use CLR SCR, many times we use, and for such we need to use the header file. The header file is the conio.h, and later next one the one message I want to display, the message is enter a string. Clear this one? Enter a string. On that time I am going to enter some string name maybe this string is the Mumbai, clear this one, or maybe let's today, or maybe in this example we use the computer science in this case, okay. So when it going to display the information or any message, enter a string. On that time I am going to inputs the computer science through the keyboard. So but before going to input, we need to write the coding. So how to write the coding? Send dot get line, opening of the parenthesis, str as it is. We already declared the str, so just the same name I am going to use, and size is called as the 50, closing of the parenthesis and semicolon. That means when it going to display the message, enter a string. We already returned the getline function, and we know that the getline function is using to input a string, okay, just to input a string. That means now I can use some number of character through the keyboard. I can input some a string to the computer here, to our program, okay. And later next one, after that, as we know, no any changes how I used in our last program, strlen of str, okay, is equal to L, clear this one, but L I used as normal L, so like that only I need to use here. So as we know that the meaning of strlen of str, such function is using to finding the length of the string variable, and after finding the length of the string variable, then such number of character, the size of the string variable going to copy it to another variable, the another variable that is to L by using equal sign, okay. Here we copied from one to another after finding the length of the character. Computer science ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು 16 ಇದೆ. ಯಾವಾಗ ನೀವು ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಾ ಆಗ 16. If you are not leaving the space continuously, if you are going to write, then that means we will get the returning value as 15 only. Clear this point here, okay. Now after that, later next one I am just want to display the information, so I am using the cout. Very simply I want to write the program, so the length is, clear this point here, the length is here, then closing of the double quotation, and later next one, as we know that after this strlen is using just to finding the length of the number of characters here, and after finding the length of the characters, such number of character need to or be copied from one to another. Now all those information is that in the variable L, so I am using the length is L. Clear this point here, the length is L here, and the end line, clear, end line and closing of the flower bracket, and get ch and closing of the flower bracket. So clear this point here. The length is, as we know that every information is there in L, so it's going to display the answer as the, in case if you are using computer science, that means after completing the program, first of all it displaying the message, enter a string. I am inputting computer science through the keyboard. Later was it going to finding the length of the character, how many characters are there in our computer science, okay, and later it going to copy to another variable that is to the L. As we know that now all those information is there in our L. Now later lastly it going to display the information, the length is, that is equal to 16, the length is 16, otherwise the length is equal to, how we are going to write in message as it is going to display, the length is equal to, lastly going to display the value, that means the L. If you are using L in double quotation, going to display as a message. If you are using without double quotation, what's the value we added in our L, the size, number of character we added in program here, such value going to display. So clear this one here. So this is the program, and this program you should remember it, length of the string using library function. Library function means our, by using our library function, so strlen of str is called as the library function of this program. So clear this one, no, okay. Now let's, after that we are going to complete one more program. Now let's, after that shall we complete the next program, but this program shows that, or the question of this program, to find the length of the string without using the library function. What we did, we already completed one program, but this program we completed by using the library function. Correct? No, the library function is the strlen of str. So such program we completed by using the function. The function is the strlen of str, but this program we are going to complete without the uses of the strlen function. So we can say that to find length of the string without using the library function. So clear this point here? I think no any problem about the question. First of all, we completed with using library function. Now this program we are going to complete without using the library function. That means without using the function. The function is the strlen function. Okay, kya? The strlen function, as we know that the strlen function is using to finding the length of the string. Okay, now let's how to complete the program. As we know that first of all we need to use the header file #include iostream.h. Second one #include conio.h. We know that the function clr, scr, open close semicolon and get ch function going to use. The third header file #include iomanip.h. That means to use endline and setw we using such header file. And as well as we need to use one more header file. The header file is the string.h, and we know that means maybe in case you are going to use number of character, group of character in the program, then to use all those we need to use the header file. Header file is the string.h. Okay, now after that we need to start the program by using void main, then also opening of the flower bracket. No any just only slight difference to our first and to the second program, and later next one. Also in this program I am declaring one variable. The size of the variable is 50, and the declaring going to declare by using the variable going to declare by using data type char. Clear this one? And also here we can say that instead of the L I am using the variable as the I. Clear this point here? Instead of L I am using the variable as the I in this case, because we know that the first program with using the library function. Okay, but this program without using the library function. So just I changed, that is from L to the I. Later I will tell why I used the variable I here. Okay, and later next one clr, scr, as we know that to clear the screen here, and later first of all it going to display the message, and we know how to write the message. See how opening of the double quotation. Before that we need to use the operator and enter a string, colon, close the double quotation, semicolon. It going to display one message, and later next one, as we know that just to input some string into the program we using getline function. And how the coding going to write? The coding going to write as the sin.getline, opening of the parenthesis str, comma 50, closing of the parenthesis, semicolon. How we declared the name of the variable str and size as it is we need to use in our getline function. Okay, and later as we know in last program how we used after this line we used as the strlen of str. Okay, the strlen of str is equal to L. Clear this point here? The strlen of str is equal to L, but in this case in this program without using the library function. So because of this I am not going to use the strlen function. So now just by using the I variable I am going to access the character one after the another. Clear this one? So because of I am using the statement, the statement is the for statement. As we know the meaning of the for statement, that means it going to access the character, it going to access the element one after the another until the condition becomes satisfied. ಎಲ್ಲಿಯವರೆಗೆ number of character ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿಯವರೆಗೆ one by one all those character going to access. So here instead of the L, okay, as we know that why I am not going to use the L here, because without using the library function. So instead of variable L I am using the variable I. Okay, and also here I am using the for statement. So we know that how to use the for statement. for opening of the parenthesis, I value is equal to 0 semicolon, str of I is not equal to 0. That means maybe it have some of the character. It is not equal to 0 semicolon I plus plus. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಈ ಕೋಡಿಂಗ್ ಇಂದ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಏನು? First of all, going to start from 0. As we know that maybe in case you want to add computer science, okay, so the computer, the C position value is 0, O position value is 1, M position value is 2, P 3, U 4 and T 5, E 6, R 7, correct no? And like that, in case you want to use science, that means one after the another, it going to access the value, it leaving, it providing some of the position value to each character, correct here? So we can say that. Now you have to remember it. What's the meaning of this coding? That means first of all, I is equal to 0, going to start from the 0 position. So I value is equal to 0, okay. str of I, that means str of 0, I value is 0. So str of I means str of 0 is not equal to null. That means if it is null, not going to access any character. If it is not null means here it have some of the character. In every position it have some of the character, correct no kya? If it is have some character or if it contains some character, it going to access the character one after the another and going to store the character in I. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದಿ ಅನದರ್. ಮೊದಲಿಗೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ? ಸಿ ಅನ್ನು ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. 0 ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿ ಇದೆ, ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ 1, ಓಕೆ. ಓ ಅನ್ನು ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ದಿ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಟೈಮ್ ದಿ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಈಸ್ 2. M ಅನ್ನು ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ಥರ್ಡ್ ಟೈಮ್ ದಿ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಈಸ್ 3. ಸೊ ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್ ಆಲ್ ದೋಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸಿಂಗ್ ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ಯು ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಇನ್ ಅವರ್ ಎಂಟರ್ ಎ ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್, ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ದಿ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಯು ಎಂಟರ್ಡ್ ಥ್ರೂ ದಿ ಕೀಬೋರ್ಡ್, ಓಕೆ ಕ್ಯಾ? ಮೇ ಬಿ ದಿ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್, ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ದಿ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್, ಇಟ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ದಿ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದಿ ಅನದರ್ and all those character going to store into the variable I. Clear this point here? Maybe while going to access any character, if the character is null character, that means no character on the tab, it going to stop the program. That means it going to stop the accessing of the character. Clear this one? So this is the meaning of this line. Clear? So without using the library function, we completed this program just by using the syntax for I is equal to 0 semicolon, str of I is not equal to null character. That means it if it is not equal to 0, it have some of the character. If it is true, then such character going to add into the I plus plus, okay. One after the another the character going to add and later next one finally it going to display the answer. So answer going to display as the length is equal to I. As we know that all those character are there in our I variable, so going to display the length is equal to, in case if you are using computer, so the total length is the our 8. Clear this one? Total length is the 8. So we know that in our character function, so each character contain how many byte? 1 byte, okay. So each character of a string, okay, have 1 byte long. So totally how many character? The length of the character of computer, that is equal to 8. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ length ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು ಹೇಗೆ ಕೌಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ? As we know that whatever the length is there, going to start from the 1 only, 1 2 3. We are not going to start from 0. You have to remember it. ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರಿಗೆ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ 0 ಇಂದ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಆದರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರಿನ ಲೆಂತ್ ಅನ್ನು ಹೇಗೆ ನಾವು ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ? ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಬೈ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ನಂಬರ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು 1 ಓನ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ ದಿ ಲೆಂತ್ ಈಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು, ಮೇ ಬಿ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಎಂಟರಿಂಗ್ ದಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಆಸ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಈಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು 8. Clear this one? And closing of the get ch open close semicolon and closing of the flower bracket. So this is the program. As we know that in first program we completed this program with using library function. By using strlen function we completed very easily, but this function we completed without using library function. So this type of coding we need to write. If it is true, accessing the value one by one. If it is false, going to stop the reading of the character, the accessing of the character, and finally going to display what's the number of characters are there in the string. So clear this point here. Okay, now let's in next class we are going to complete some other concept of the string functions. Thank you for watching this video.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.